What's going on, guys? What's going on? It's your boy Jonesville. Back at it. I'm back at it. Give me 1 second. Oh man, I slept outside uh, on the couch or whatnot. So uh, gotta you know clean some things up, whatnot. But as father do, let's get into it. This one right here is kind of like short, simple, easy because like I say, I tell people all the time, it's some stuff you need to know before you go, and you gotta learn the facts before you react. If you don't learn before you earn, you're definitely gonna get burned. A lot of y'all getting burned in these so-called hearings that they perceive to be a court, and you don't know what's going on before you get there. Now, understand, in this live, I'm gonna kind of like talk over some things about being talking, but it's going to be more broken down. So it's trying to drive home the understanding of where you're at and how they're coming at you per se. So all this thing is in administrative hearing is they're trying to gather facts based off of what you stated. And what they're trying to gather in the facts is that anything that you say when they tell you in court, anything you say in court, or anything you say in this conversation, shall and will be used against you in the court of law. But here's the question that you should be asked under your sixth amendment: is this a civil jurisdiction or criminal jurisdiction? Because last time I checked, and last time we know, child support administration is not an actual judicial branch; it's an executive branch. And this is why we say you need to understand the three branches of government. Okay? You have the legislative branch who writes the laws. Okay? You have the executive branch who are supposed to really interpret the laws to make sure people are doing what so say to give them pretty much a actual light to understand what this is because somebody had wrote it. It's the executive branch to break it down what the legislative branch wrote and said that we all must do. Now, last but not least, you have the judicial branch, which you have a judicial judge. So let me tell you again, a commissioner is not a judge. The court is not a judge. Judge pro tem is not a judge. Support magistrate is not a judge. They call themselves support master judges because there's no fucking such thing as a support magistrate judge when you understand what a support magistrate is. But see, what y'all have to start doing is start doing critical thinking. And what you have is thinking that is pre-made for you, which is Siri, which is not bad, Google, which is not bad, Alexa, which is not bad. But remember, real information comes from books. And if you notice, if they and to stay on Title 4D, a lot of stuff that they're doing is getting rid of actual books. You see your libraries go away. They're slowly in modern day time are putting things on the internet, but notice how you'll see something on the internet and you go to read something else on the internet and they don't match. Let this sink in. Sometimes you can read this here. You could be like 2 or 3 searches up. You come down 4 or 5, and you see the exact same case or the exact same thing. It don't have to be a case. It don't even have to be court stuff. It could be anything. But notice certain words is off or certain. If it's the exact same story, why is it changing? See, you're not using critical thinking. Once you start using the noodle knock, as they say, boy, I'm trying to tell you, it's going to hit different. It's going to hit different. We're 4 minutes in this video, and what you have heard me say is they're going to be using things you say in the process of adjudicating against you, because the word adjudication means to decide something based off why you're there. Number 2, we broke down what You should know about your three branches of government. You should know these things. You should. But see, here's the thing. I'm not gonna beat you over the head or say anything that you ain't already heard. I'm just gonna reiterate certain things that now when somebody had told you something when you was growing up, it's now coming to pass. Remember when you was in elementary school, and they told you you gonna need this one time in life, you might need this one day. Today is that day. Because remember when they told you certain things like math and certain literature's words and stuff like that, it's going to come a time, and that time is in court. Now watch the trickery. In elementary, they teach you out of the dictionary, Webster. They teach you out of the encyclopedia. Okay, and then they have the internet, which is Wikipedia. Sometimes you might have the Oxford Dictionary. Now, when you get to court, none of that shit really matters. Why? Because there's a word called legalese. To break this down for the average viewer, you have the word to. I'm going to say again, you have the word to. But to has three different meanings, depending on the spelling of it and the meaning of it. We have to, T-O, to, okay, we have to go to somewhere. So that would be use T-O. Okay, I need two of them things. Well, we know that's the number two, T-W-O. Then there's T-O-O-O. See, I see some of that people is going over their heads. Because I'm just trying to test to see, but some people I might get a laughing emoji later, but there's there. Okay. There's two different theirs. There's T-H-E-R-E and then there's T-H-E-I-R. Spelled different way, but they're said the same. Like I just need people to understand when you're in court, it's called Black's Law Dictionary. That's what they use because they use the terms because it's not the actual. When you understand that is an acting process going on, and you got another rules to play the game. That's what they tell you, right? You don't pick up the game and just start playing Monopoly, do you? You're gonna get fucked up that way. I tell you what, since y'all think it's a funny game, land on somebody's boardwalk and see what happened. Land on somebody's park place and see what happened. You're gonna have to pay them before you move and do anything, or you're gonna lose the turn. But see, some people get it, some people don't. But again, that's there you have FAFO. Fuck around, find out. Excuse my French. You're gonna learn today the real big way, what I gotta say. But the thing about it is here trying to teach you some things and have you understand, and just really trying to get to the meat and potatoes of these things. I think you're gonna start having a better insight on what these things are and like understanding the words adjudicate means there's a decision made. Understand that you're a case that being brought against you, you will always be the defendant. If you bring the case against somebody else, you will be the plaintiff. Okay. You need to understand what a civil file number is, what a docket number is, what is a case number ID. These little gems what makes up your case. When they ask you certain things, and the first thing you say, quote, and what y'all have to stop doing, I'm not here to beat you up, I'm here to coach you up. What y'all have to stop doing is, I don't know what it is, who got it, that's your responsibility. Because once you're in, you're in. And you always hear me say, I mind a business that pays me well. Minding my business don't cost me a thing. Shouldn't cost you a thing because it's free 99. I'm not in the way. I'm out the way. I ain't trying to be in the way. But see, you got too many people who are nosy and other people's affairs don't got nothing to do with them. And then when they get caught up in affairs, like, well, I was just, oh yeah, you was just helping. But guess what? Now that the help got you, you gonna help get this ass whooping, or you gonna help get this jail time, or you gonna help get this damn fucking civil suit. That's why you see companies cut people off because it's bad for business. Well, we pay you, and in that contract, we told you a certain clause that you could not do. If anything happened to you potentially, whether a lawsuit, criminal act, or whatever, we're going to cut you off because you're bad for business. Because people buy our product or people buy our services, but you out here doing dumb shit. So, okay, I got to disassociate myself from you because you're bad for business. Just use that exact same terminology about people in your family or friends or foes. Like, you bad for business. If you loyal, you're loyal. You stick around. But we talking about people. Listen, I ain't got nothing to do with that, bro. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Can't help you. You know what I'm saying? But if you rock with that person, it's different because you got to really help them out because somebody could be bringing an illegitimate claim or somebody could always be saying some facts. But you know, opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. And trust, believe, you'll never win with the internet because the internet is undefeated. You can't reply to every single person. You might do it for shits and giggles, excuse my French, but you're not gonna beat every person on the internet. That ain't gonna have to go, boss. But sticking to Title 4D, like I tell people, I'm very passionate about this thing because when I knew what it was on its face, really after years of being in it for so long, I'm gonna tell you how long I've been in this Title 4D game. And when I call it a game, I don't mean the game that I tell you and I preach to you and I kick that ism to you, which is grown ass man energy. That's what game stands for over here for us. Grown ass man energy. That's the game we kick when we try to put people up on knowledge. But when you're not putting people up on knowledge, when somebody's trying to play a trickery or defraud you, I'm gonna show you how me being tricked into doing something under coercion and duress for so many years. My oldest child, come October this year, gonna be 20 years old. I was never an absent father in his life. Never. Didn't want to be, didn't plan on being, but I paid what we call child support enforcement. But when I knew and found out the case law that child support enforcement was only for the absent father, I was mad as fuck because I ain't never been absent. And I'm up here paying money to see my own child, which is extortion. But see, if I knew Hale versus Hinkle, which is a case law, man can stand his constitutional right, as long as he don't infringe on nobody else's right. He has no business. He don't have no right to. I mean, nobody has a right to have him open up his doors or have his privacy invaded upon. As long as it doesn't incriminate himself. But I'm not incriminating myself. My whole thing is I have the fundamental right to be left the fuck alone. So did my oldest child. Let that sink in. If I knew what I knew now back then, I would be way more successful. Probability, but way more successful. But I know there's a fucking guarantee that I would not be fucking broke from just about paycheck to paycheck. Because it's one thing about us in my family, we always make a way out of no way, and we do stick together whenever we on good accord. But one thing I have learned about my adult age, and I can say, and I pride myself on this right here, is the fact that when you learn who people are and you learn who they are and how you say, you know how to move away from people when you don't, like, grown men or women shouldn't be fighting over anything. That's little kids and toddler teenager shit. But when you get grown, you just like you have a time and a place for everything, right? A time and place for everything. And I tell people all the time, like, you don't gotta argue about anything. You can have a conversation about something, but you don't gotta argue. You know what I'm saying? And when you go a different way, Just go out the way. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? When you see each other speak or whatever, be cordial. It should be the exact same thing with your other parent, child's parent. And I want to stick on Title 4D, and I want to deviate from it, but it's just like, listen, man, we co-parent. So we ain't no need for whatever. Y'all come up with your own agreement. But if you can't, then then you have to go to a neutral party first before even going to that courthouse, because then going to that courthouse is fucking you and her up. When y'all understand who pulling the strings behind the matter, when you see the whole thing about defendant, which is the father in most cases, not all cases, but most cases, when the father finds out what's really going on, and he gonna look at the child's mother like, bro, you really messing up everything. You really out here don't know what's going on. Because if you really don't think that child support enforcement ain't about money, you's a fucking fool. I tell that to anybody. Anybody with their head on straight. Because when you understand what the basis of it for and who it's for and where it goes, like I told you before, there's 2 Supreme Court cases that was already held. People should know that. It tells you that it ain't you don't gotta believe me. You don't gotta believe me. You book a consultation for 30 minutes, $60, book a consultation for 60 minutes for $100. I'll tell you exactly what you need to know, show you where it's at. I can talk it. I can literally talk it. See, I'm gonna show you something, because I'm gonna use my cell phone for this. Because y'all be thinking I'll be getting on here and talking or whatever, but I can show you the codes and whatever it is. So 18 USC, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, USC means United States Code. They codified the Constitution, so that's what that means. (18 USC 1201). I'm gonna use Cornell Law. Let's see what they say. Bright as day, right? You can see it clear day. A lot of y'all out here getting kidnapped in your court cases, and really they're not court cases in your administrative court. No, I mean your court cases, but they're really not a court case because there's never an actual order in most of your cases. I'm not going to say all. Some of them people do the right thing, some of them don't. But you're getting kidnapped, and that's the code. What is kidnap? Go read it. What is the actual court order? What are the 3 components to make a court order? What is an actual judge? What is it? Okay. But then I can tell you what it's a word that you really need to understand, which is coram non judice. It's a Latin term that means not before a judge. It refers to a situation where a case is being heard outside the presence of a judge or in a court that does not have the authority to handle the matter. So if you're literally outside of a courtroom and somebody's trying to have a executive hearing, you're not before a judge. The judge is not allowed to participate. Remember, page 561, 68. They're not allowed. But they say the support master is a judge. No, that support master is not a judge. Because if there was a judge, how could it be in there? See, they give you the answers and hint all day and they throw it in your face. Now people say in the conversation, hey, bro, stop, please, bro. Yo, lady, stop. You try to sit here and play me in my face, and that's what they're doing. They're literally laughing at you in that court process. And it's not a court. Let me tell you again, the administrative hearing process. They literally hearing you. Only time you go to a court process when you're in contempt of an order. But if you know what that order is, how you in contempt of it if it's not an order? How are you in contempt? How are you in contempt? Now, again, I break shit down to people. I try to do the best I can and try to help you guys understand some things. But I could do way more for you. And like I tell people, if you just simply book the consultation. Simply let's work something out to where I can speak for your community, to where everybody can get blessed with the ism all at one time, and then you can start doing it. You know what I'm saying? But again, that only comes from people who are like-minded and really want to, I say, do the work. For me, it's to do the work, and a lot of people don't want to do the work. So somebody asked me, and I'm gonna read off my phone. But some people tells me, okay, what if you prove there's not a court order, and what you supposed to say then? Okay, I'm gonna read you something so you could like literally see it's on my phone. So the judge say, I'm enact this out. Things invalid from the beginning cannot be made valid by a subsequent act. Things void in the beginning does not become valid by elapsed time. Things cannot render valid an act on its void. Excuse me. Time cannot render a valid in act void in its origin. So, ladies and gentlemen, if they didn't do it right the first time, they can't make it right did it there. Now some people like, oh, we'll make it right here, right now. Sorry about that, but we'll let that slide. But going, no. All that you did, oh, that's coming back. All that you did is coming back. You understand what I'm saying? I know y'all get that. Everything that they said you do that started from the beginning, when you find out what they did, all that goes away. That's why you gotta attack it at the beginning. Don't attack it where you at now. Go back to when they first started. It's the easiest way to do it. All my football players, when quarterbacks say height and the defense jumps off sides, you got a free play because the flag is up, but the refs are down, let the play go. You throw the ball. You throw a nice line drive down the right side, your receiver catches. He scores. Everybody jumping up. Everybody like, woo, yeah. But you thought the defense jumped off sides. But it actually was your right tackle who jumped before you said height. So everything that you just did and worked for, all that comes back. That's what it means to have a void judgment. Because if it wasn't done right at the beginning, it cannot be made right in the middle of the act or after the act. That's for all my fellas for football. That's what exactly it is. Ladies, okay? To break it down for you, to make it simple, we know how you are with your bundles. We know how it is with your hair. Some of y'all got 1B, some of y'all got 3Bs, right? But you know, you know what your hair tone is, what y'all be trying to do. I'm gonna keep it nice to you. But she go get you a 2B brown, but your hair needs to be a 1B black. When she gets the 2B brown to you, but you specifically need 1B, and everything about your hairstyle has to be 1B. When that bundle gets to you, do you accept it? No, you don't accept it because it was wrong from the beginning. So you got to take that 2B brown back and go get that 1B black bundle so you can do it right. It's just that simple. I broke down an actual fucking law or terminology of a law and used it in real time for men and women. I'm not a guru. I'm a guru because I can do what I'm saying and I can show you what I'm saying. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind how this thing really goes. And I'm going to give you some free game because it's just like you gotta understand what your rights are. Okay. Now, Inalienable rights. That's INALLIENABL. I'll spell it again. INALLIENABLE. Inalienable rights. Rights which are not rights which are not capable of being surrendered or transferred without the consent of the opposing of one's opposing such rights, and that's Morrison versus State. So unless you have the consent of me, I'm not transferring you or give you any right. You gotta have the right to take it. Now, inherent powers, an authority possessed without its being derived from another, a right ability or factual doing anything without receiving that right ability or the factuality from another, powers originating from nature of government or sovereignty, powers over and beyond those explicitly granted in the Constitution or originally to be impelled from express grants. Let that sink in. Cause see, you getting some ism today in a real major way. You get some ism today. Now, I'm gonna break down what a parent is, and then I'm gonna break down parental rights. Now, what parent is this, because you're getting some ism today, and we're gonna got 4 minutes left, so I'm breaking this down. A parent is this: the lawful father or mother of a person, one who protects, begets, or brings forth offspring. By statute, parent has been defined to include one, either the natural father or natural mother of a child born of their valid marriage to each other, if no subsequent judicial decree has divested one or both of them their statutory co-guardianship as created by their marriage. Two, either the adoptive father or adoptive mother of a child joint adopted by them in a subsequent judicial decree has divested one or both of them of their statutory co-guardianship as created by the adoption. Three, natural mother of illegitimate child, if her position as a sole guardian of such child has not been divested by subsequent judicial decree. Now we just broke down what a parent is. Now, some of y'all were like, okay, well, what is parental rights? Okay, 2 minutes in, 2 minutes left. Now, parental rights, the sum total of the rights of the parent or parents in and to the child as to the child, as well as the rights of the child in and to the parent or parents, and that's Annapolis versus Superior Court in the, I don't even care what that is, but that's where it's at. That's the case. The following are parental rights protected to varying degrees by Constitution: physical possession of the child, which in the case of the custodial parent includes day-to-day care and companionship of the child; right to discipline the child, which includes right to acculate in a child's parents' moral or ethic standards; right to control, manage minor child earnings; right to control and manage the child's property, right to be supported by adult child, right to have the child bear parent's name, right to prevent adoption of the child without parents' consent. So your upbringing of the child's right to you as a parent. You could say about how much they could make, and if you want to let your child up or down, they still need your consent. Everything has to be with your consent. Now we broke down whatever, and I gave you enough to where okay, it shows you I'm very knowledgeable. My journey has came thus far. You can see the growth. This is more straight to the point, a little bit of ism, a little bit of self-taught knowledge, a little bit of knowledge of understanding of what it came to. But it's been real. You know the slogan. Same back time, same back channel. If you want to be back at home, left alone, on your throne, pick up the phone. You can cash at me if you think today's blessing, anything that I gave you, any type of magnitude that gave you some more knowledge and help build your confidence, please cash at me. $ JONESVILLE84. Again, there's $JONESVLLE84. Okay, it's been real. You can follow me here on my YouTube page, Jonesville, Carolina's Freedom, and there's periods in between Jonesville and Carolina's in Freedom. You can also follow me on my IG page. It's directly for that content only. Same thing, Jonesville, Carolina's Freedom. Okay, it's been real. Consultations, literally 30 minutes, $60. 60 minutes, $100. Man, it's been a blessing. It's been a ride. Peace. Bye. Y'all have a good week.